You're walking down the street, thinking about someone you haven't spoken to in years. Suddenly your phone buzzes. It's a message from them. You freeze. You smile. You wonder, was that just random? This is where the story begins. We've all had moments like this. Strange little alignments. Perfect timing. A word overheard that feels like it was meant for you. A song playing just as you're thinking about a specific memory. These aren't just coincidences. They're synchronicities, and they carry meaning, if you're willing to listen. Synchronicity is the experience of two or more events that are meaningfully related, even though they don't seem to have a direct cause. It's not about logic. It's about resonance. Something inside you recognizes the moment as significant, even if you can't explain why. Think of it like a whisper. Not loud, not forceful, but clear enough to make you pause. There, we're opening the door to that whisper. We're not diving into heavy theories or complicated psychology. We're simply asking, what if the universe or your own subconscious is trying to get your attention? Imagine your life as a movie. Every scene is carefully placed. Every line of dialogue matters. Now imagine that sometimes the director leaves little clues, Easter eggs, hidden messages. That's what synchronicities feel like. They're not loud plot twists. They're quiet nudges. You might see the same number over and over. 1111 222 444. You might keep running into the same word, the same animal, the same symbol. You might meet someone who says exactly what you needed to hear, even though you didn't know you needed it. These moments don't shout. They shimmer. And here's the thing. The more you notice them, the more they seem to happen. It's as if paying attention tunes you into a frequency that's always been there, just waiting for you to listen. Some people call it divine timing. Others call it intuition. Some say it's the universe. Others say it's your subconscious mind, weaving patterns from your thoughts and emotions. Whatever you believe, the feeling is the same. Something just clicked. This video isn't here to convince you of anything. It's here to invite you to notice, to slow down, to pay attention to the strange little moments that seem to glow around the edges. Because once you start noticing, you'll realize they've been happening all along. And maybe, just maybe, they've been trying to guide you. Chapter 1. The Mechanics of Meaning. You've noticed the signs. A number that keeps showing up. A phrase that echoes through different conversations. A strange alignment of events that feels too perfect to be random. But why now? Why do synchronicities seem to appear just when you're questioning something, standing at a crossroads or feeling lost? It is about the timing, the mechanics behind the mystery. Synchronicities aren't just curious moments, they're mirrors. They reflect what's happening inside you, often before you're fully aware of it. When your inner world shifts, your outer world begins to respond. Not with loud announcements, but with subtle nudges. The more emotionally charged your thoughts, the more likely they are to ripple outward and attract patterns that match. Think of your mind like a tuning fork. When you're vibrating with a certain emotion, uncertainty, longing, hope, the world around you begins to hum in response. You start noticing things that align with that frequency. It's not magic. It's resonance. Carl Jung, the psychologist who coined the term synchronicity, believed that these meaningful coincidences were expressions of the unconscious mind. They weren't random, they were symbolic, a way for the psyche to communicate with itself through the outside world, like dreams but waking. Let's say you're struggling with a decision. You haven't told anyone. You haven't written it down. But it's there, swirling beneath the surface. Then you overhear someone say exactly what you needed to hear. Or you open a book and the first sentence hits you like lightning. That's not just chance. That's your subconscious reaching out. The timing of synchronicities often coincides with emotional intensity, moments of transition, moments when you're open, vulnerable, or searching. It's as if the universe or your own deeper self sees the crack in your certainty and slips a message through. Some people believe these signs come from a higher source. Others see them as psychological phenomena, But either way, the effect is the same. They make you stop. They make you think. They make you feel. And that's the point. Synchronicities aren't answers. They're invitations. They don't tell you what to do. They ask you to pay attention, to notice what's stirring inside you, to question what you've been ignoring. They often show up in clusters. One sign leads to another, a number, then a name, then a dream. It's like a breadcrumb trail. And if you follow it, you may find yourself uncovering something you didn't even know you were searching for. But here's the catch. You have to be present. You have to be willing to see beyond the surface. Most people brush these moments off. They call them coincidences and move on. But those who pause, who listen, often find that the signs were leading somewhere all along. So why do synchronicities happen when they do? Because something inside you is ready to shift, ready to see, ready to grow, and the world responds. Once you understand the mechanics, you'll start to see the patterns. And once you see the patterns, you'll never look at your life the same way again. Chapter 2. Common Signs and Their Hidden Messages. You've started noticing them. The patterns. The symbols. The strange repetitions that seem to follow you around. A number that keeps appearing. A song that plays at just the right moment. A dream that feels more like a memory than imagination. These are the signs. And they're not random. How to decode them? Let's start with numbers. One of the most common synchronicities people experience is seeing repeating digits, especially 1111. You glance at the clock and there it is. Again and again. It's not just a time, it's a signal. For many, 1111 represents alignment, a moment when your thoughts, emotions, and energy are syncing with something greater. It's like a cosmic checkpoint, a reminder to pause and ask, what am I thinking right now? What am I feeling? Other numbers carry their own weight. 222 often shows up during times of decision, nudging you toward balance. 33 might appear when you're being supported. By people, by unseen forces, by your own inner strength. 444 is a grounding number, often linked to protection and stability. These meanings aren't fixed, but they're felt. And the more you pay attention, the more you'll discover what each number means to you personally. Then there are animals. Ever notice how a certain creature keeps crossing your path? A butterfly that lands near you. A crow that watches from a wire. A fox that appears in your dream. Animals carry symbolic energy. A butterfly might signal transformation. A crow could represent mystery or hidden knowledge. A fox might be urging you to trust your instincts. These encounters aren't just nature, they're narrative. Symbols are another layer. You might keep seeing a triangle, a spiral, a key. These shapes and objects often show up in art, architecture, even graffiti. But when they repeat, they're worth noticing. A triangle could represent change or the balance between mind, body, and spirit. A spiral might point to growth, evolution, or a journey inward. A key could mean access to something locked away, something waiting to be discovered. And then there are dreams. The ones that feel too vivid, too timely. You wake up and the feeling lingers. Maybe you saw someone you haven't thought about in years. Maybe you were in a place you've never been but somehow knew. Dreams are the subconscious speaking in symbols, and when they echo your waking life, they're often trying to guide you. Even words can be signs, a phrase that keeps showing up. A quote you hear from 3 different people in 1 week. A line in a book that feels like it was written for you. These verbal synchronicities are powerful. They cut through the noise and land directly in your awareness, not because they're loud, but because they're true. The key to understanding these signs isn't memorizing meanings. It's noticing how they make you feel, what they stir, what they awaken. Your personal history, your emotional state, your current questions, all shape the way a sign speaks to you. Synchronicities are a language, but it's not universal, it's intimate. What a butterfly means to one person might be completely different for another. That's why journaling, reflecting, and staying curious are so important. You're building your own dictionary, one symbol at a time. Once you start recognizing the signs, the next step is learning when to act on them. And that's where the real magic begins. Chapter 3. when the universe nudges. There's a moment, quiet, almost invisible, when something inside you shifts. You're standing at a crossroads. Maybe you don't even realize it yet, but then a sign appears. A number, a phrase, a stranger's words. And suddenly you feel it, the nudge. It is about those moments. The ones that seem to arrive just when you're about to make a choice. Not with fanfare, not with certainty, but with a strange, undeniable pull. Synchronicities often show up when you're on the edge of something. A decision, a change, a realization. They don't tell you what to do. They don't scream. They whisper. And if you're paying attention, they can guide you toward clarity. Imagine you're thinking about leaving a job. You haven't told anyone. You're unsure. Then you hear someone on the radio say exactly what you've been feeling. Or you see a billboard with a word that hits you in the chest. Or a friend randomly brings up a story that mirrors your situation. These aren't instructions. They're confirmations. It's like the universe is saying, I see you. Keep going. But here's the twist. These nudges don't always point to the easy path. Sometimes they push you toward discomfort, toward growth, toward the thing you've been avoiding. That's why they're so powerful. They don't flatter your ego. They challenge your soul. A woman once shared that she kept seeing images of bridges everywhere, paintings, dreams, even in her coffee foam. She was debating whether to move to a new city. The bridge, she realized, wasn't just a symbol of travel. It was a symbol of transition, of crossing from one life to another. That was her nudge. A man kept hearing the word begin in strange places. On a podcast, in a book, from a child in the park. He'd been sitting on a creative idea for years, afraid to start. The signs didn't give him a deadline. They gave him permission. These nudges often come when your logical mind is stuck, when you've weighed the pros and cons and still feel unsure. That's when intuition steps in. Not with facts, but with feeling. And synchronicities are its language. But how do you know when a sign is real? When it's more than coincidence? You feel it. There's a subtle shift in your body. A chill, a warmth, a sense of recognition. It's not dramatic, it's deep. And it usually comes with a sense of timing, like the sign arrived exactly when it needed to. Still, it's important to stay grounded. Not every repetition is a message. Not every coincidence is a call to action. The key is emotional resonance. If a sign stirs something in you, if it feels personal, timely, and alive, it's worth exploring. That doesn't mean you act immediately. Sometimes the nudge is just a seed, a suggestion, a reminder that you're not alone in your questioning, that something is listening, that your inner world is being mirrored back to you. In these moments, journaling can help. Writing down what you saw, how it made you feel, and what you were thinking at the time. Over time, you'll begin to see patterns. You'll notice how the signs tend to show up when you're ready to shift, even if you don't know it yet. Further, we'll explore how to become more attuned to these signals. How to cultivate a daily practice of listening, because the more you tune in, the more the signs speak, and the more they speak, the clearer your path becomes. The nudge is never loud, but it's always there. Chapter 4. The Ritual of Listening. You've seen the signs. You've felt the nudges. You've started to understand the language of synchronicity. But now comes the part most people overlook, the listening. Not just noticing the signs, but creating space for them to arrive. This chapter is about building a quiet ritual around your awareness, a way to tune in, not just react. Synchronicities don't shout. They don't compete with noise. They slip in when you're still, when your mind isn't racing, when your attention isn't scattered. That's why so many people miss them. They're too busy, too distracted, too focused on what's next. Listening is a practice. It's not something you do once. It's something you cultivate. Like watering a plant, like watching the moon. It begins with presence. Start with silence. Not hours of meditation, just a few minutes. Sit with yourself. No phone, no music. Just breath. Notice what thoughts rise. Notice what feelings stir. This is where the signs begin. Not outside you, but within. Then, begin to track. Keep a journal, not just for dreams, but for moments. Write down the strange things, the numbers, the words, the feelings. Don't try to interpret them right away. Just record. Over time, you'll see patterns. You'll notice how certain signs show up when you're anxious, or when you're about to make a big decision, or when you're avoiding something important. This journal becomes your map, your personal dictionary of symbols, and the more you write, the more fluent you become in your own intuitive language. Another way to listen is through movement. Go for walks without a destination. Let your eyes wander. Let your thoughts drift. You'll be surprised how often a sign appears when you're not looking for it. A feather on the ground, a word carved into a bench, a stranger's conversation that feels like it was meant for you. Nature is full of messages. The way the wind moves, the animals that cross your path, the timing of a sunset. These aren't just beautiful, they're meaningful. If you're open, listening also means asking, not demanding answers, but inviting insight. Before sleep, ask for clarity. Ask for a sign. Then let go. Don't chase it. Just notice what comes. A dream, a feeling, a phrase that lingers in your mind the next morning. Sometimes the answer doesn't come right away. Sometimes it arrives in pieces. That's part of the ritual. Trusting the process. Trusting that your intuition knows more than your logic. Trusting that the universe, or whatever you believe in, is always in conversation with you. You don't need crystals or candles or mantras. You just need attention. You just need to care enough to notice. That's the ritual. That's the listening. And when you do, something shifts. Life feels less random, less chaotic. You begin to see the threads, the connections, the quiet guidance that's always been there.